This is the new Misano from Wellhouse Leisure. It's based on the Ford Transit Custom, and it's available in all sorts of wonderful colours, including this rather vibrant orange, which certainly brightens up a rather overcast campsite. So let's go and take a look inside. Probably one of the first things you're going to do when you get on site is switch on the electrics and get the roof up. So over here, just flip on the master power switch. That puts all the lights on. The roof on this particular model is held in place with a couple of straps at the side. These straps have just been tied up to stop them dangling around. Just release the catch, pull the strap through. You don't need to pull it through all the way. Do the same on the other side. You always need a door open because otherwise you get a vacuum and you can't actually open the roof. So just shove the roof skywards, and once it goes up, just push up the roof bed. Now the roof's up, let's swivel the cab seats and get comfy. To rotate the chairs, all you need to do is unscrew the handle, just move the table out of the way, pull the handle up, out of the way, and just rotate the chair. Then slide it back and adjust the backrest. The driver's seat rotates in a very similar way. It's worth noting that this handbrake, the handbrake's on, that's off. It's a fly-off handbrake so that the lever naturally sits in the down position. The reason for that is when you rotate the chair, it doesn't catch. You do sometimes need to move the seat forward and back, so if you feel any resistance on anything, like a steering wheel, and move it further back. It's also a good idea to drop the steering wheel back, gives you more room. Right, and that's it. One thing I do really like on this van is the detailing. If you look at that with the Wellhouse logo embroidered in, look at the stitching on the leather seats. Lovely. Once you've got the seats in place, there's plenty of room. I'm 6'2", there's ample headroom for me, and both seats have really good access to the living area. If you want to use the table, just unscrew it, rotate it back into position, unscrew the top bit. That's it. Clamp the top bit in place, and then you can either pop it back there. Either clamp the bottom bit, so you've got a sort of occasional table. The table would also be ideal for a laptop, TV or tablet. So if you want to play a film on it when you're on a campsite, it'd be quite useful for that too. Or you could just use it as a breakfast bar when you know, if one of you gets up first and fancies a cuppa. But it's a nice feature to have that. Not all camper vans have this mounted on the A-pillar, and it doesn't take up any storage room when it's not in use. So if you used it in this sort of position, it'd also be ideal as a sort of countertop bar when you're outside barbecuing. You could get your other half to sort of load it with beer while you cook the food. So I like that feature. That's a very blokey feature, I think. As well as the little fixed table at the front, for dining options, you've got this tabletop that normally lives in the back, and under here is a hole in the whole table with a tripod leg. Very simple. That back here, and pop our tabletop on. And this can be moved in all sorts of different positions. You can also use it outside if you want to. So it's quite a flexible unit. Right, let's pop it away. Just spin it a little bit to loosen it. Take the tabletop off. Take the tripod leg off. Unscrew that. Open the drawer. Pop it back in place. Right, I'll pop this back in the boot. In terms of kitchen equipment, you've got a Dometic combination hob and sink. It's got 2 burners and a cold water tap. Above the kitchen, you've also got these 2 lockers. Again, useful for all sorts of foodstuffs, map books, sponges, whatever else you can think of putting in there. Over here, we've got a nice tambour door locker. It's got a hanging rail at the top, and this middle shelf comes out if you want a deeper locker, or you can have it shelved out as this customer has chosen. Above it, got another handy locker. So there's lots of clever little cubby holes on this van for storage space. Okay, so down here you've also got your 40-litre compressor fridge with a freezer compartment, another locker, cassette loo in it, or you could use it for whatever if you don't need to take the loo. You've got an extra compartment above it. There's also this really handy deep locker. That's pretty massive. You put quite a lot of stuff in there. And there's another one at the edge. And inside here, a bit like on posh A-class motorhomes, you've got an all-in-one sort of service point with your water pump, charging system, all the fuses for your 12-volt system, and your two 40-volt breakers. So that's a really nice feature. And then you've got various lights. This vehicle has lots of clever lighting in it. To access the upstairs roof bed, just pull it down on the gas struts. Upstairs you'll find good sized mattress with a memory foam topping. This is 6 foot by 3'9". You've also got these clip-in screens. This mesh screen, it just stops younger kids falling out, so that's quite a nice safety feature. You get a ladder to access this space, and there's some thoughtful touches here, as well as having 2 mesh windows on either side. This one's zipped up. You've also got a clear vinyl window at the front if you want to let a bit of light in as well. Down here you've got a nice individually adjustable reading light. It's also got a USB point, and another function, this switch here, if you switch this on or off, it switches off the main roof bed lights. It's a thoughtful touch. You don't have to go downstairs to touch any of the master switches to switch the main lights off. So that's good. One of the great things about Misano is it comes with Wellhouse's sliding seat system. This features TUV approved rails in the floor, fully crash tested seat, and it can be slid forwards to increase boot space or backwards to increase lounge space depending on what you need. I'll show you how that works. You basically just push the catches down, lift them up, you push them down with one hand and pull the toggle out, and that's the seat in the released position. So with the seat released, you can just move it forward or all the way back. So that's how the seat works. Another handy storage space, which isn't immediately obvious, is under here. If you lift this panel up, it's just an extension piece for the bed. You've got a nice little cubby hole. This one this one's got the winding handle for the cassette awning on it. So that's quite a nice place to have it, where it's always close to hand. At night time, it gives you a little bit of extra bedroom too. So nice little feature that. Subtle, but this van's all about the detailing, which is why it's won so many awards. When you think this is a short wheelbase van, the amount of room in here is quite incredible. I mean, I can stretch out into a starfish and I've got loads of room. I'll show you how the bed's made up next, so we'll go and sort that out. Okay, to make up the bed, all you need to do is lift the seat base up and over, flip it through 180 degrees, pull this lever up, and the backrest drops down. The bed itself is 6'3" long and nice and wide. It's 4'2" at the widest point with the infill. You've also got the usual slide across curtains. Again, very easy. Doesn't really get much easier than that. And unlike cassette blinds, which can sometimes rattle, these don't rattle. So that's a good thing. Squeaks and rattles are always annoying when you're on the move. The bed itself, excuse the shoes, is very good. It's nicely padded. You could use a memory foam mattress topper if you wanted. I don't really think it needs it, but some people prefer extra cushioning. Another nice feature for night time is these reading lights. They're adjustable in all sorts of different directions, up and down and what have you, so you can get the right sort of position. And they've also got, I'll switch that off, they've also got a USB charging point in them. There's lots of clever details like this round the van, but quite a nice little unit that. I like that. It's also worth pointing out that you sleep on the opposite side to the travel seat, so you're not putting double the wear on the surface you're sitting on. So that's quite it's a subtle but important point for sort of longevity. To put the bed back, all you do is lift this handle up. It's quite a heavy unit. It's a crash tested unit, but it's not too bad. And then you lift the base back into place, pull the seat belts up, and then you can just nudge it back with your knee. So yeah, great. With the travel seat slid all the way forward, the amount of boot space is pretty vast. So I'll just show you how far it slides forward. It's the easy way to do it. It looks rather ungainly, but it works well. So the other good point is you can lock it in any position. That's not always the case with all travel seats. So that's quite an important point. So again, this also, if you have it in the fully slid forward position, it also makes it a bit more sociable for speaking to people in the front. And if you've got a child seat, this has ISOFIX fixings, by the way, if you do want to put a child seat in. If you have a child seat and you want to tend to the child on the road, it's easier access if the seat is slid further forward. So that's quite a nice feature for parents. Right, I'll show you what the boot space is like in the back with the seat slid all the way forward. Let's go take a look. Okay, let's have a look at the boot space then. Inside it's pretty vast and it's quite a low sill too, so loading's quite straightforward. Inside the boot there's loads of room to load bikes and things. Those are the silver screens you get as standard to seal out the light on the cab. You've also got a slide out storage tray under here, drawer system accessible from the front, but you can also load thinner things from the back, so that makes it quite useful. I'll show you what it's like with the seat all the way pushed back as well, so you can see. So just grab hold of it and pull it back. The most convenient way of doing this is to have it set in roughly the bed position, and then you can flip that up out of the way. Now, if you're wondering what this circular thing for, that's quite a clever little feature. When you've got the back end all full of camping gear, you can unscrew this. It's got a rubber seal, it's in a sealed locker, and you can switch your gas on. So, quite a little thoughtful attention to detail you only get from manufacturers who actually use their own vehicles themselves and are camper vans. Overall, great useful storage space, very flexible, and it's a big tick for this van. If you're thinking of a camper van and you're choosing between one which doesn't have the flexibility of a sliding seat and one that has the flexibility of a sliding seat, it's always best to pick one with a sliding seat over a fixed seat, because it just gives you more options in how you use the vehicle. To pull the roof down, all you need to do is pull down the roof bed, grab the grab handles and pull. Once it's down part way, just check the sides are in and then allow it to come all the way down. That's it. You don't want it getting pinched in the side of the vehicle. All you then need to do with these catches is just thread them through and then pull them down, and pull them down tight. Need to be good and tight. That's it. And the roof is done. You'll notice on this van, it also comes with a smoke detector and a CO alarm. Good safety feature. In terms of the interior, the Misano is every bit as ergonomic as all modern Fords are. So you've got reach adjustment, rake adjustment, and when it fires up, nice clear instruments, and you've got a good infotainment system firing up. In terms of comfort, the seats are excellent, really nicely padded. The armrest is adjustable. You can push it all the way down and then it ratchets up in clicks, so you can get the perfect position. The gear stick falls nicely to hand, lots of controls for the computer on the steering wheel, and it's quite a nice, quite a chunky rim with leather trim. Feels nice. You've got cruise control as standard. Obviously everything's electric, windows, mirrors, air conditioning, lots of USB and 12 volt sockets. As with all modern Fords, you've also got really nice clear heater controls. Direction, it's very clear where everything goes. I like the little picture of a man. Recirculate, you've got air conditioning. You've also got on this one heated seats in various settings, and Ford's quick clear, Ford's, easy for me to say, you've also got Ford's quick clear windscreen, which is a great feature to have in icy conditions. You can also switch the whole thing off, which is good, but this feature I particularly like. You step into the vehicle, it's freezing cold, you just do this, stick it up to max, and it puts on your heating to maximum and puts the demist on. It puts the heated windscreen on. It puts the air conditioning on, because things demist better with air conditioning. And if you want, you can put the 2 heated front seats on as well. This van's got a lovely spec. I'll just turn the fan down. So yeah, lots of nice, simple, clear heating controls there. Like that very much. I'll just switch that off so it doesn't make any noise. I'll just turn the engine off. You've also got USB and 12 volt sockets down here, as well as up here on the driver's side, so you can both charge your phones and gadgets up. Down here there's also a big glove box, and as is the case with all Fords, over here that compartment will fit a large water bottle, and there's plenty of storage in the door cards, so lots of useful practical features. Right, infotainment. You've got all your audio controls here. It'll obviously pair with a number of phones, and you can also sync it with your mobile apps. Settings, you've got all sorts of bits and bobs here, nice and clear. You can turn the display off at night if you don't want it too bright, so lots of different settings and things to play with. But if you just want to stick it on radio, stick it on radio. Turn the volume
I had
up.
a very great privilege this morning of looking at a few
Radio. So you can set that up however you want, and it's a good system. One thing I do really like about the Misano is when you select reverse, you get this really clear screen. It not only helps you reverse onto pitches, but how easy is that to back onto a trailer? You can see the hitch so clearly. So we'll just back it into the pitch. And reversing sensors will tell us when we've gone too far, but we're not going to go too far in any way. But isn't that great? Really easy to live with. There we go. You can get a little display to tell you. Brilliant. Really like that. Wellhouse have been building vehicles on the Ford Transit Custom for quite some time now, and some of their previous models have won all sorts of awards, plus they're camper vanners themselves. So it's clear they've put a lot of thought into the detailing of this van and giving it the premium feel. This is every inch the rival of Volkswagen's California, albeit in a much newer chassis, which is something VW don't like to tell you, but it's true. You can get various engines with the Misano, a 130 PS or a 170 PS. Both are available with a 6-speed manual or a power shift automatic, and they're both really pleasant engines, refined, torquey. Either is a great choice. Obviously, if you're going to be pulling a trailer or you like something a bit whizzier, then go for the 170. But for most people, the 130 will be absolutely fine. But it's the refinement that I really like. They're just so smooth. This is one of the most enjoyable camper vans to drive. Great base vehicle. I can see why Wellhouse are such fans of the Transit Custom, especially with this latest generation version with the revised heater controls. It's a lovely refined base vehicle. It would easily replace a family car without any problems at all. Great choice. You can't help but like it, you really can't. If you don't like this, you don't like camper vans. So, what's my verdict about the Wellhouse Misano?
Well, it's a really desirable vehicle, especially in this Supersport spec, which includes the body kit, alloy wheels, rear spoiler reversing camera. You also get that absolutely delicious sport leather interior, which is an absolute joy. A lot of the kit is also included as standard on the Misano range, including the blown air heating, cruise control, air conditioning. It's also a very flexible vehicle thanks to that sliding German rear seat system. It gives you the option of a massive lounge or massive storage space in the boot, depending on what you need. Price wise, it starts from $55,000 in Supersport spec, but you can save around $10,000 if you base it on a used vehicle if you prefer. So there's something to suit every budget. So if you're in the market for a camper van and you want something that feels premium and is great to drive, then the Misano is a great choice. Check out Wellhouse's website for more information.